I'm still sick. My voice is still gone. I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded anything. I have a cough drop in, so if that's annoying you, sorry. I'm trying to soothe my sore throat still. Maybe this is not the time to film this, but I was debating doing this book review because it's a book that I didn't like a lot. And I don't like to be like a hater on things. And I'm not necessarily a hater, the book just wasn't for me. But it's from an author who I've read a lot of their books and I don't like them. And I think that it's important to give like honest reviews. And so I'm going to give an honest review. Obviously, that's why I'm filming this, is I've decided that it's not just about the good reviews, it's also about the bad reviews. I just hate to critique someone because it's really hard to write a book and publish it. And who am I to critique you? I have like no literary skills. I don't know how to write. I just like to read. And I'm sick right now. And so like I figured what a good time to like, I don't know, post this video. So I read, I think it's called The Coven by Harper a couple weeks ago. There was like a gap in my uploads. I read it that week. This makes me so uncomfortable. I've read almost every book I think that Harper has put out there, except for the second one in this series, The Coven. I think the next one is The Cursed or something. I've not read it. But I read What Lurks in the Shadows, What Haunts in the... I read the whole... There's 3 of those books in that series. I read them well over a year ago. And I've read The Coven recently because every time I see her books, I see people who like them. I get good reviews on them. Like, I give them a shot every time because I really do like that kind of fantasy magic vibe. And I like books that have that kind of dark fantasy theme. I just don't like her writing. Like, I've given it a very, very, very fair shot. I have read 4 books by her now, which is a lot for someone I don't like. So this is a very honest review because I've given her work a chance. I'm not a big fan of the characters that she creates. I don't find that her characters do a great job changing and growing throughout her books. You know, I think that I hate to be a hater, but I have such good sources here because, and I'm not really being a hater, these are all very fair critiques. I shouldn't discount myself here. But I just don't like her writing, and I'm not a fan, and I keep reading these books because I want it to get better. But I think I'm going to stop reading Harper Elwood's books because they're just not for me. And they might be for you, and I totally respect that. And it could just be like, I just don't like that vibe. But let me tell you what I don't like about it. Maybe you have a similar experience. Maybe you have a completely opposite experience. All good and well. I'm sick. And I just want to talk about books. So that's what I'm doing because that's what I like to do. And I don't feel well. And so I'm going to be, I guess, mean for a video today. So in The Coven, which I've just read, it's kind of, there's like this romance, in all of her books there's kind of this romance thing that she does where it's kind of like not forbidden, but there's definitely usually like an age gap and the guy is usually some sort of evil entity. And I don't know, I'm not a fan. It's usually this like very instant kind of almost lusty, especially in The Coven. It was this very like instantaneous romance, and I'm not a fan of that. I think it's nice to work a romance into a story throughout a book, but I think when the book just becomes all about the romance and you kind of start to almost, I feel like, lose the plot, I think as a reader I lose a bit of interest. And I don't know, with The Coven, and I could have like been misreading this book because for a bit I was like Googling stuff while I was reading this book because I was like, I've got to be mistaken. But there was this age gap, this unexplained like age gap where like the guy thought she was 16 and maybe she was actually like in her 20s, but like I think there was still some stuff that happened while he thought she was 16. I don't know. It made me uncomfortable. That it just like he was like her principal. That's weird to me. And I don't like reading that, and it makes me cringe. And I feel like I cringe at a lot of the romance in her books, like the like steamy scenes or the romantic scenes in the What Lurks Behind the Shadows book series. I like they always kind of made me a bit uncomfortable. I can't put it into words as to why. Maybe they felt forced. I maybe it's because the characters didn't really have like chemistry that was like built up. Like I didn't see it coming, or like, you know, it just like happened out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. And I read romance novels quite frequently. And so it's not like it's something I'm not used to seeing in literature, but I think I'm used to it being handled in a very different way than how Harper Elwoods does in her books. And I've really given them an honest go because I really like books with very unique magic systems, and I like fantasy, and I like these ideas of like trying to come up with like very new and creative ways to use like magic in a book series. And she does that quite a bit, is she's always finding some new way to like work magic into these books. But I don't know, I don't necessarily like it. I said I was going to do a review for like every book I read this year. Technically, this is a book that I've read this year, and I tried to skip it because I didn't want to sit here and go like, I finished this book, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I am going to tell you, I finished this book and I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know who it's for. I didn't like it, and I don't like her stuff. So maybe if you like her other series, then this book is probably for you because you liked her other work and I didn't like her other work, and this is another book and you will probably like it because it's very similar. Not entirely. Maybe the second book is more along the lines of Who Lurks in the Shadows or whatever it's called. I don't know. Her books make me a bit uncomfortable, and like I understand that it's like dark romance, dark fantasy. It's supposed to make you a bit uncomfortable, I think, to some degree, but I think that's a little too far for me. And to be fair, if you go and look on my Fable, I read some dark fantasy, but I don't think I go all the way into like the deep end when it comes to that genre. I know some people read things that are like much more dark than what I'm reading, and maybe this is just like the tip of that iceberg that I'm like, this is where I'm drawing my line. This is where I'm drawing my line. I've given it the college try. I've given it an honest go, and I don't like them. I've tried, but I don't like them. So this was my little sick critique of this author's works. And like, no hate to her. Like, she's writing books and she's getting published and people really like her work, but it's not for me, and I wouldn't recommend it to like people who read books like the books that I read, I guess. People who like, I don't know, I sound so mean when I'm like people who like more developed characters, but I really don't find that her characters develop very much through the story. I like a character that changes like a lot through the story, like either mentally or whatever, like goes through some sort of growth. And I feel like her characters kind of are very stagnant. Like things are happening to them, but I don't find that they're often changing in response. And that's just my thoughts. That's my sick, sore throat thoughts today on Harper Elwoods' dark fantasy book series. Wow. Yeah, I'm so with it today. But I will be posting another one. I'm probably halfway through A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I love V.E. Schwab, and I'm liking this book so far, so it will be a very good review on that book in maybe another half of a week's time. I'm like a little over halfway through with it, so just so you guys know. that's what's coming. Hopefully my voice will be back by the next video upload, so you don't have to deal with this annoying sick voice for a third video in a row. This is ridiculous. I can't believe I'm still sick. I have an appointment with the doctor coming up, so hopefully they fix whatever is going on here. But other than that, happy reading. I hope you appreciate my comments on this. And let me know if you think the same, or honestly, I would love to talk to someone who has like a very positive opinion of her work, and I would like to hear what you like about it, because I'm open to having my mind somewhat changed, or I'm open to different perspectives on it. I know that I don't really enjoy these books, but I do keep reading them, so there's got to be something to it. So if there's something about her books that you really like, or you really can stick to, or you can really say like, I like this about her books, and it's something that maybe I didn't notice while reading those books, I'm absolutely open to hearing it. So if that's you, let me know. But if you agree with me, let me know as well. I mean, I get it, so keep me posted. That's it for today. Enjoy my ill voice.